Will you sit, please? I would like to welcome to Rugby 10 students from Ruffwood School in Kirby, near Liverpool. Next week, as you may know, 10 Rugbyans are going to stay with them in Kirby.
Rugby, founded in 1567, one of the country's top public schools. 750 pupils, 350 in the sixth form. It's a traditional boys' public school, though there are now 70 girls in the sixth form. The school fees are £6,600 a year. Ruffwood, a comprehensive in Kirby on the edge of Liverpool, opened in 1959 as one of the first purpose-built comprehensives in the country. 1,800 pupils in the school, 160 in the sixth form, 100 of them on maintenance grants because their parents are unemployed or on very low incomes. On the two-week exchange in May 1987, there were 10 first-year sixth formers from Ruffwood and 10 from Rugby. It was the first such scheme between the two schools. The Ruffwood students spent the first week in Rugby. At the end of the week, the Rugby students travelled back with them to Kirby and Ruffwood. In Kirby, the Rugby students stayed in the homes of their Ruffwood counterparts.
Hiya, Dad. My father owns a small engineering company, and my mother works in a factory.
Hello.
Hi. My father is a very successful businessman who works in Manchester and London, and my mother is basically a housewife. I hope to go on and do a BA in graphic design and eventually an MA, and then I'd like to do stage design. I'm going to Cambridge to do land economy, which means that in the end I could be an estate manager or go and work in a merchant bank.
That's my dad. Hello. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah.
Aye, sure is. Dad used to work in a place called Hygiene up here, but I got closed down. He was on the dole for it then as well, for about 2 years, before he got a job as postman.
Thank you.
After school, I want to go to Poly, so I'm in Sunderland, do social sciences or something. Then after that, maybe customs and excise.
I live in North Wales, near Chester, with my parents. My father's an estate agent.
Nice to meet you.
That's Mark. Mark Evans.
You're good.
I went to prep school from the age of 7, and I boarded since I was 8. I've been here since I was 13. When I leave, I hope to take a year off and go up to university, hopefully Cambridge, to read either classics or psychology. After that, I hope to join the army for 5 years, and if I like it, I'll stay on, sign my life away to it.
Hello, dear.
When they arrived at Rugby, the Ruffwood students were divided up and taken to the various boys' and girls' houses they were to stay in.
The big aim is to get involved in everything. So we want you to work hard. Yeah? And we want you to get into games or music or anything else which we can do, because that's the object of the exercise. If you come to Schoolhouse, what we want you to do is to be in everything.
After tea and what we call lock-up, there's only one way in and out of this house, and that's through our front door. And if you're going out to another house, if you're going out to Cotton House or Schoolfield or wherever, you would have to sign out in a book on the table in the hall to say where you're going, what time you're going out. And then you have to sign back in again when you come in again and put down what time you're in.
Well, we'll go through this again.
But,
so...
yes, well, don't worry too much about that now.
You have to be in bed by
sort of 11ish for the sixth form. So that's all right. I mean, you can ask me if you want to stay up longer, but just so I know if people are around the house.
Unless you're so excited by what you're taught at rugby that you feel that you have to sort of stay up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, getting through your stuff. Good. Right, Paul, Gary. Hello. What are your first impressions?
So some overall feeling of confinement. Because when we're back home, we just come and go as we please.
Yes.
Get locked up in little rooms.
What's your biggest preconception about what this week is going to be like for you? What's the major prejudice you have about the week ahead?
There'll be toughs.
It's going to be tough.
No toughs, other kids, other people. They're just posh. And
yes.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but the people are going to be posh.
Are you from Liverpool?
You are
No.
No.
Comes from a long way away, actually.
New Zealand. Do you know where that is?
How about political society? Do you have any sort of local debates in your school on political matters?
Sometimes between ourselves, they do like arguing and not always politics, all kinds of religion and everything. Especially with the born-again Christians. I mean.
And the general view is what, sort of left to centre or centrish? Or?
I think it's got to be. Because it's got to be left to centre, doesn't it? Because of where we are.
It's got to be left to centre.
Because of the kind of area and upbringing that you get. If you live in a working area, you've got to believe in working views, all for the people.
Yeah. What are your political views?
I haven't got any.
You haven't got any? Have you got any?
We should play again for ball. Yeah, do you want a game? Yeah. No, don't. Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get a proper view of rugby school because they're going to be hustled around from place to place. I think they'll find the boys, to a certain extent, very arrogant.
Why do you think they'll find some of you arrogant?
Because
it just strikes me as being a general inbuilt public school attitude for a lot of people. I mean, you can try not to be, but sometimes it just slips out. Condescension.
In what way?
Well, people have told me that they can spot a rugby schoolboy, specifically a rugby schoolboy, in a crowd by his simple manner and bearing, sort of sneering down his nose at people.
True or false?
True. Most of the time it's true. They're all right. They'll survive in Kirby. Probably better than we will.
Will you survive here?
I don't know. Waits to be seen.
The people we met seem all right, though. Well, most of them, yeah. Talk to you. But it's a shame. It's just...
What surprised you most?
The attitude that they've got, you know, like locking people up and everything at a certain time.
Go on, hurry up, squat period! Everybody out!
You sort of come with an open mind, thinking all people are equal, we're all the same. Just go and see what it's like. And you get here, and you're frightened because it's a new experience. You just don't know what's going to happen. The school's huge, and it's got everything. And they don't really make an effort to make you fit in. So you feel really small and out of it.
During the lessons, there was little opportunity for the Ruffwood students to contribute. The Ruffwood and Rugby students weren't studying exactly the same subjects, and when they were following a different syllabus.
Or if you put a headset on and press listen, you'll find us there. Okay. Go on. Yeah, you find that you just missed the beginning of that. So if you just put it on rewind, you get it back again. Okay.
Ali is Alio. Sure, I went through this carefully the other day. Means with one lot one way, one lot another way. No globbo, not all in a lump. Okay, let's have someone else. Mark.
He reveals his brother's crimes against him and the birth of his grandchildren, how they were born, how they were brought up, and how they were recognised.
Perhaps the Gladstonian ideal of the gentleman comes to us from an Aristotelian source as well. The whole notion of a gentlemanly training, gentlemanly conduct, of education not as an end in itself, but education as a source of moral training, that the moral muscles can be developed in an institutional context. So that's one of the many ways in which Aristotle has exercised a decisive influence on our culture, and especially on institutions such as these, which perhaps now, to a lesser extent in the past, nonetheless, they've been formed in the past on an understanding of character training, of character formation. The stiff upper lip.
Hi, Mum, it's me.
Hello, love.
Hi.
How are you?
All right.
Good, good.
To a certain extent.
Hey?
To a certain extent.
Oh, why? What's the matter?
The lessons are dead boring.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I went to philosophy. It's so pretentious.
Yeah.
The teacher must be on another planet.
Did you put your 5 anything like?
He asked me one question, but it didn't say much.
Yeah.
If it would have been politics, I might have.
Yeah.
Because they're all quite right-wing here.
Are they?
Yeah, I could say that. Some of them are really closed-minded. Not particularly the people that are coming back with us, but sort of the general feeling of the place.
Yeah.
You know, old tradition, like boys' school sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. The old school tie type.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them said that they didn't really like that sort of aspect of it, but it doesn't do them any harm.
Do you moan about queuing up in visa offices, the American visa office, because they want to go on holiday? There's people queuing up for the gyros day in, day out, and they go, oh, it's such a long queue. It's so boring. They do it once a year. I think that's hardship. You got no idea, have you?
I wouldn't blame them. I blame, like the system they brought up in that cause. It just promotes ignorance and arrogance and racism.
Hey! Rugby school! John! By the right! Quick! March! Left, right, left, right, left! Go on, get going! Close up, Archer. Get the arms going, you little fat slob, you. I've never seen anything so idle all my life. Hold your head up. Close up the navy.
Don't think many of them have got a real sense of reality either, because they all want to join the army. And they treat like wars as some kind of game. They'd love to get in there and go and shoot someone. They don't seem to understand how, you know, the atrocities, how a soldier's war can be, and things like that. Some person was talking to me, saying, tell me about an old Rugby, and he went to the Falklands, and he was walking along some marsh. An Argentinian jumped up, he went to shoot him, and his gun jammed. So his mate behind him finished him off, and he came made up, you know. Let's get in there and give it a go. And they go in as officers, so they were doing anything anyway. They were saying, go on, boys. See that over there, go and get it.
I've already asked. Serious?
Laustia, Sacra Sacrorum, per Iesum Christum, Dominum Nostrum. Amen.
Okay, sit down. Sit down. Right, can I see those E-blockers who were helping with the athletics this afternoon, please? And if you've made any changes, can those people come and see me? There's something about careers here that I'll put up after.
Yeah, there's a Maths Society meeting for D block.
Quiet, please.
The top set of the D block and the upper school mathematicians. If you go... Shh. Paul, shut up. If you go, late teas will be ordered. And can I see Hewitt, Gaddam and Humphreys? Thank you.
Okay, check the board for Junior League, right? Okay, go. Get athletics.
Oh, I've forgotten, Charles. You guys are schoolhouse graduate types, aren't you?
Yep.
You're going to outside the front door.
Now.
Just sweep it all out onto the gravel. Get a dustpan of gravel.
No, I'll sweep onto gravel.
No, don't get a dustpan of gravel.
Don't get a dustpan of gravel.
And he still go around bullying people, doesn't he? Even in the sixth form.
It's a vicious circle, isn't it?
Oh.
They bully the first years. When the first years get up here, they bully the first years again. And their children come back because...
Do it all again?
Because they don't know what a family life is, so they just send the kids back here. Because the entire life that they're in boarding school, they must have about a year at home, a full year. So they spend, 8 years in a boarding school, so they don't know what a family is. And so they've got to send the kids away. So it just keeps going round and round and round.
So, and apparently they've missed all 6 birds. So that's the way the school has.
Can you put on the David Bailey?
I don't honestly think they'd have got on at all if they came here normally, because people who've come from, say, Liverpool have had a lot of stick about their accent, and it's not been half as bad as people from Kirby. And yet we sort of all seem to get on with them.
But these are visitors, and the wrath of Malcolm Lee will descend on you if you maltreat them.
Yes.
You obviously liked it here at Rugby in the schoolhouse very much.
Yeah.
What is it about them that means that they didn't fit in?
Well, I think we're used to having our lives organised every minute of the day, and like when we were at prep school, everything was compulsory, and you were doing something all day, sort of like got half an hour's free time a day, whereas they seem to have all evening free, and 3 periods anyway. And it's virtually the same here. We spend a lot of time doing organised things which are compulsory, like house sports, and they just aren't used to that, really.
We've been regimented since we were about 7, all day and every day, so that if they did come here, it'd take them a very long time to settle in. And even now, with just this week, some of them are very much looking forward to going home after 2 or 3 days. So God knows what they think of it.
Yes.
4 years.
I mean, they've only been here for like 2 days, and I think Jill was finding it terrible. She was in tears one night because she thought it was so much for prison. And Gary and Paul have had to go to the pub to relieve the tension.
No, you're not. Please. Honestly, this is going to look very piggy.
I think each day it gets easier to cope with, but I don't think I'd like to come here.
I wouldn't. I mean,
now, like a lot, a lot of people say if I had the money, I'd send my children to public school.
No way.
After this week, I'd never ever send them to public school. I'd kill myself. I don't know. No, like we said to someone, your parents must really hate you for sending you here. I mean, it's just totally. I don't know.
I don't think they learn to be individuals. I think they learn to follow the mainstream of everybody else. Whereas we're like encouraged to be ourselves, but I don't think they are here. They're encouraged to just do well in exams.
I think that they're confident in a lot of things, but they're not confident in, like social activities.
With people of a different background.
We went down for a game of tennis. None of us had ever played tennis before. Instead of teaching us how to play, they gave us a tennis racket, the balls, the tennis court, told us to play, and sat and laughed at us. Sat on the side and just joked about us. We were pretty miserable, like, but they could have at least showed us what we were doing wrong. I didn't like that.
I mean, what part of Liverpool do you live in?
It's Kirby. It's out
Kirby?
Knowsley North. It's about 7 miles outside. Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. I mean, Kirby. I know Carol Wilson used to be the member for Kirby, wasn't he?
No, he was Knowsley South, which is just on the outskirts. It's next door.
That's a pretty. It's a pretty grim area, isn't it? Some of those.
Housing and stuff. Yeah, it's
You look out here, though. You look out here. Do you feel sort of jealous that these people have got these surroundings?
I just wouldn't mind living here. I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, I can't really say I'm jealous.
Do you feel, I mean, does it annoy you that some people have such a much better opportunity than others? And you come down here and look out on the most beautiful cricket pitches, everyone is prosperous and so on. Does that hit hard or not?
It just shows you that there is wealth, just that we haven't got it.
Scotty! Yeah? I know that.
Have you got a chocolate? It's chocolate. Oh my God. There's Mark.
Mark.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You had your lunch?
Well, we had some lunch.
Ready for your roast dinner then?
Great, lovely. Lovely. It's hot all there.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, we'll get through this assembly as quickly as we can. The first thing from today's bulletin is I'd like to welcome the students from Rugby School. I hope you enjoy your stay here during this week, and I'd like to thank you also for looking after our lower six students so well. Senior cricketers this week, this Tuesday, make sure you bring a white top, it says here. It's essential. Also, senior rounders will take place tomorrow night after school. Now, one of the the important aspects of today's assembly is examinations. What I would hope you would do during this week is to make sure you begin using the study area correctly. Every year
we've been told to watch out at Ruffwood by our regimental sergeant major, Mr. Potter, for pinko leftist, gay lib, one earring wearing teachers. He wants to stay clear of them.
Fancy you girls? Do you fancy him?
What's all this about?
Qu'est-ce que vous avez trouvé d'agréable? Une seule chose, Johan, hein?
Les jeunes filles.
Les jeunes filles?
Oui. Oups.
Qu'est-ce qu'on me dit?
Non, elles sont très sympas, oui. Oui, très sympas.
Elles sont très sympas?
Très gentilles. So cute.
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Toutes les jeunes filles que vous avez, dont vous avez fait la connaissance, non?
Oui,
la plupart des jeunes
la
filles.
plupart des filles. À Dean House.
C'est un collège pour les jeunes filles et les garçons.
Oui.
Pendant tous les ans ou pendant les 2 dernières?
Les 2 derniers.
Pour
les filles.
And here we've got Thatcher puts final touch to poll plans.
That was apolitical, totally unbiased to either side.
So
It was just...
Guardian was middle of the
It was
road.
middle of the road today, at least. I haven't seen it on other days.
Yeah. Anybody else who takes it regularly? You think it's centre left?
It's pretty fair, though. It doesn't slag off either side at all.
It's just telling you what's happened.
Anybody think it's centre right? Why?
Because it's got pictures of the monarchy in it.
But if the monarchy are in the news, you would expect them to report it.
Well, I don't see that. The Queen going on holiday is very educational.
Right, well,
It doesn't all start off the industrial revolution, so why can't the South start off the service revolution?
Basically, because you get an unbalanced country that way. I mean, you don't imagine that the service sector is not growing up here, do you? Because it is growing up here.
That's fine, then what's the North worrying about?
This is going to be something, I think it's called 5 million unemployed, actually. That's precisely what they're worrying about. And they're also worried about a concentration of industry and employment in the South East. That's the other thing they're worried about. But apart from that, do you want me to start on the few things that they are? Back to the lessons, chaps.
At rugby, you're taught out slightly. You get on well with the masters, and you can have discussions. But they always seem to be slightly above you, which I think is a good thing. Whereas here, they try and bring themselves down to the same level, and actually become more personally involved with the teaching of lessons. So I think it's too familiar for lessons.
Yes, but that might be due to the fact that in lessons here there are a lot less people per master. There are sort of like 3 or 4 in some of the sets that I've been into, whereas rugby they're all 10 or more, the ones that I'm in. Maybe that's different with Mark.
Discipline's lax. In lessons, people talk, go to sleep really, if they want to. And I haven't seen any teachers criticising that or telling them not to talk yet. Whereas if you did that in rugby, you'd be told to stop.
Although school dinners are provided at Ruffwood, most of the sixth formers go home or to the town centre to eat.
here for only a week. But still, gets on top of you. It's just worrying to see so many people who just don't smile. It's just so characterless.
If you were here longer, do you think you would adapt to it?
No, I think we'd get very depressed by it. I don't think we'd fit in that well.
I think you live here too long, you get into a bit of a rut.
Yeah.
That's what it seems from most of the people here.
I think we'd lose all our morale and be converted into left-wing people.
There's a lack of personality, individualism. It seems to be a mass conglomeration of people.
I wouldn't call it character. I've been here for 6 years, so I think we had more character than their school did.
I think their school's bound to have more
They've got
character,
more history,
in inverted commas, because it's an old school, 1567 or whatever. I mean, it's bound to be more traditional, you know, Tom Brown school days and all that.
It's got more history, but like...
But doesn't mean that our school's characterless.
No.
I think our school's just like, I don't know, I think it's more full of humour and things like that. It's not as dowdy. There's more life in it.
It's not as staid as their school.
Well, if you could explain this to me then. If frustration produces violence, largely as stemming from the unemployment issue which you've just mentioned, what's the answer?
If someone knew the answer, then maybe Liverpool's situation would be cured.
So you think the whole...
Liverpool have a new place in the eyes of the world.
So you think the unemployment issue is a major scar which affects people's attitudes towards the city?
It's one of them.
Right. Fine. Yeah.
But unemployment covers the whole world. It's not just confined to Liverpool. Liverpool is just one of the many of thousands of examples.
Yeah. Jill?
You said if it leads to violence, perhaps we only had riots in Toxteth. That was perhaps in 1981. The only like real violence we've ever had. Like you say it leads to violence, but like you don't see people beating each other up on the streets. You don't see violence like you probably might do in any other city. Because we only had one set of major riots, and that was in 1981.
Yeah. I was referring to the Liverpool football match as one of the examples.
Which one? What Liverpool football? The Highsmith Stadium? Yeah. But that was only a minority, wasn't it? It's only a stupid minority that ball.
Yeah, no.
And it wasn't just Liverpool. It wasn't just people from Liverpool. It was people from down south and civilised south. And it was
Now, here you may want to be very frank. Have the Ruffwood lessons been of use to you?
Yes.
You say yes, you say no.
Economics is brilliant. Economics is very useful.
Was that your favourite?
Yeah, definitely. It just...
Because
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's controversial. It's brilliant.
Good.
It is.
Have you also met some of the more left-wing of Ruffwood sixth formers? Have you no left-wing radicals at all in rugby?
Very few. Basically, we're all capitalists.
I mean, you understand that any people who are very left-wing here, it's not so much opposed, it is a sincere feeling bred of their circumstances. And in a way...
expect people from Kirby to vote Thatcher.
Huh?
No. She doesn't do anything for them.
I mean, if you're unemployed, you want to change, no matter, because you can't lose a job, can you? There should be more money. I can't decide.
It's job, not just money, it's hope, you see.
Oh, come on!
Not
Everyone can apply for the dole.
Why not?
Because there's certain clauses, certain catches. Not everyone can.
But you're assuming the only problem with being unemployed is you're short of cash. Can you think of any other problem?
Frustration.
Frustration. But they're all actually...
No, go on, keep going.
They all have a certain standard of living.
A feeling you're making a contribution. The consciousness of other people's perceptions.
Apart from jobs, there's nothing to work to.
I mean,
you've got no
they all have a certain standard of living, though, don't they? None of them
Yeah, but maybe they did one.
Probably find I forgot something.
Probably you have. We'll have to
Thank you very much for a great week. I'll put it up with it. And all my irritable habits.
Hope to see you again. Bye-bye. What? Nose like a bomb. You sure are.
When it was all over, The Ruffwood and Rugby sixth formers talked about their lasting impressions of the exchange and each other's schools.
I don't think I'd like to do it again, or do it for much longer anyway. A week was enough. After that, I think we'd begin to see what it was really like, and we'd have a much harder time.
How do you mean?
Well, for the first week, everyone could make a special effort and, you know, trying to be nice to us and arranging things. The second, if we were there for another week, they wouldn't bother, I don't think. Well, we wouldn't bother if they were at Rugby for another week. They just have to fit in totally. And to do that at Ruffwood would be very hard, I think.
The system teaches you to win. No. Rule. To be empowered is the thing to be. Here, you're taught to win, but you've also got to accept failure. You know you're never going to get as far as you want to get. People here want to get high up, but they never make it because of the responsibilities that they've got to face up to. Like they have no responsibilities really compared to us. How do you mean?
Here, if your parents don't work, if your parents are both unemployed, it's a bit difficult to stay on and do A-levels on the money that you'll get. And you've got to go to work or you won't survive. You need feeding, you need food. Then, Mommy and Daddy pay for everything. They don't need to go out and get a job.
They all love their school. And they said coming to Rugby, they appreciated it a lot better back at Ruffwood. They all love their school and it's good for what they've got. They get a good education there and it fits in with their circumstances. But we come from different backgrounds and public school fits with our lives.
Singer, Humphreys, Hewitt, Gadham, Macaulay.
I felt sorry for the people who were there. I think they miss out on an awful lot. Like home life, family life. Like, I don't think any of them are that close to the parents as we are here. I mean, it's just like, they think that they're getting the privilege because they go to public school, but they don't see life as it really is, really. I don't think they do anyway. They just see one section of life, whereas in comprehensive you get all sorts of people and you see a bit more of everything. I'm not saying that you see everything, but I mean, I didn't understand the wealth that people have who go to rugby school. It's just amazing. I mean, their school fees are more than what people live on. I think it's 6,600 a year or something to go to rugby. And it's just amazing because people live on less than that.
That 40 minutes programme will be discussed in tomorrow's Open Air on BBC One. In the studio will be the producer, Chris Curling, together with pupils from both Ruffwood and Rugby schools. Your questions are